Okay. There you go. Well, that was a long time ago. I'm older and wiser now. I think I know what's bothering most Americans. It was tough for a lot of families to survive these days. In my family, we're now eating the cheaper cuts of meat. Last night, we had roast chicken faces. I make all of my own shoes now out of the skin that forms on chocolate pudding, so things are really tough. And if I wasn't in trouble, would I be working the Pierce Street Annex? Come on. And everything's so expensive these days, too, even drugs. I don't do drugs, folks. I'm from a different era. I didn't go for drugs. I tried Coke once. I don't get the thrill of Coke. It took me an hour to get the bottle out of my nose. That's expensive. You know, I'm going to snort something. I'll snort laundry detergent. It's cheap. Makes bubbles come out of your nose. The kids get a kick out of it. I had a guy come up in the street that then asked me if I want to sniff a little crack. God, I hate that, don't you? At first I thought he said, you want to sniff a little crap. No. Hell do I want to do that for? Sniff any crap, I'll sniff my own crap, not yours, man. Sure as hell won't pay for it either, I'll tell you that. Getting back to drugs, I don't do drugs. Oh, once in a while I shoot up on Preparation H. Funny now, my mind's starting to shrink. A lot of issues facing Americans. I'll tell you what hasn't worked. Social Security. Now, they started Social Security in the 30s to solve the old people problem, and now we got more old people we haven't had before. And those old buggers all over the place. Getting your way in elevators, walking slow, dribbling food down their chin, leave their fly open, drive you crazy, old people. The energy situation. For a while, we were supposed to have big cars. Now I think big cars are necessary sometimes because I cannot imagine a Yugo hearse going down the street. The legs hanging out the back and a little red flag in the toe. That'd look weird. If we ever have another gas crisis, as I said before, we have an overabundance of old people. Why don't we just find a way of converting old people into gas? Get regular, no lead, and Grandpa Ned. Call it fossil fuel or something. Kidding, of course. We take care of the old folks in our family. Grandma Paulson did right with us. We built a little lean-to in the back, and she was good company for the dog. Reminds me of a story. A little old lady sitting in the bar says, all right, anybody tells me what I have in my hand gets to take me home tonight. Guy down the end of the bar says, you got an elephant? She says, well, it seems we have a winner here. I know an old guy went down to get his Social Security, forgot his papers, couldn't prove how old he was. Hey, you can't get your Social Security unless you have your papers. He says, wait a minute. Opened up his coat and says, look at those gray hairs. So they give him his Social Security. Went back home, his wife said, how'd you get your Social Security? Forgot your papers. He said, well, he just opened up the coat and showed him my gray hairs. She said, well, you should have dropped your pants. You could have got disability. See, I can do old jokes now. I'm one of them. Don't send me any damn letters. Environmentally, I've always been very strong. I've always felt the major cause of forest fires is trees. Cut them down, get them out of there if they're a problem. Did that in Arizona, no trees there, just rocks. That's good because a bird can't crap on you from a rock. The Indian problem, I felt we should attack. Hey, they still got some land we haven't taken away from them. Indians think they're Americans, got a lot of nerve. Well, the Indians would have done a lot better if they'd had tougher immigration laws. Should have started up here, too. I can talk about Indians because I'm part Chippewa myself. I don't know if you know this, but the Chippewas are an ancient band of nomadic Eskimos originally expelled from the Maine tribe for some of the weird things they did with seals. Well, this is not an issue, but people talk about it. You know those 976 phone services where you can get any information around? Agricultural, sports scores. You know who has one of those phone services? Jehovah's Witness. I call them every morning at 5 o'clock. See how they like it. Called one of those sex services. Some guy started talking dirty to me. I was so outraged to call my congressman, and the same guy answered. And on top of that, I got an ear infection, you know. Brings to mind safe sex. Big issue in the world today, safe sex. Many ways to have safe sex. All of them are effective, and none are any fun. Best way to have safe sex, have no sex at all. Of course, married people have been practicing this for years. Somebody asked me about my new Middle East position. Well, my wife and I tried it. She said it hurt her back. These are chauvinistic lines. I apologize to the ladies. I am for women's rights. I don't think anybody should be discriminated against because of the shape of their skin. If there's any guys in the audience tonight, you thinking about getting married? I'll save you a whole lot of trouble. Just find yourself a woman you hate and buy her house. I'll tell you a big issue in '88 were daycare centers, and I think we need daycare centers where you can drop the kids off without coming to a complete stop. Throw those little buggers out of there. Population explosion, nothing to worry about. Everybody here tonight has 2 parents, right? Those 2 parents had 4 parents, 4 parents had 8 parents, 8 parents had 16 parents, 16 parents had 32 parents, so I think it's pretty clear that the population is dwindling. Okay, I'll explain that to people from Nome who came down tonight. I did my bit for the population explosion. My wife and I had 18 kids. I said, that's it. And I cut her off right there. No more sex. She's begging all the time. You ladies here tonight would too if you knew. She went on one of those physical fitness kicks. She lost 20 pounds in one day. One of those machines tore her left leg off. Well, that's an old joke, but I see it hadn't got to Anchorage yet, right? Jokes come in here by barge. I love Anchorage. Had a great time today. Went over to your zoo and saw your duck. Somebody asked me before I came up here to Anchorage, would I find any humor here in Anchorage? And just today I met the mayor and nearly laughed my head off. So humor's everywhere, you just look, right? Getting back to population explosion, tell you what I did. I went to the hospital and I got that operation. I'm not afraid to say what I did. These are adults here tonight. You can talk about these things today. I went to the hospital and I got that operation for birth control. I got didn't make jokes about it, got a vasectomy. And I was only in the hospital 6 months. As a matter of fact, just got the cast off last week. Funny, all my friends came over and signed it. God. Yep, 200 names. That's just one side, too. Walked in the hospital. I asked the doctor, I said, how long will it be? He said, well, about the same as when you came in. Now, there's nothing to that operation. They put the needle in you, then after they coax you off the ceiling. Now, before the advent of the pill for birth control, my wife was using a coil, but that was too expensive, so I got her a little slinky toy. Should have seen her walk downstairs. Gazang, gazang, gazang. Well, 92 is a big year for me. We have a new slogan. I'll be decisive president, probably. And I read a poll the other day that said 1 out of 5 Americans believes that Elvis Presley could still be alive. 1 out of 5. Now, if I could just find these morons and get them registered, I could be president. So I'd like to leave the podium, get my guitar, and do what I'm supposed to do, try to entertain you, but I'd like to leave the podium with this thought. I know in my heart that for centuries to come, years will pass. This is a great country, folks. This is the only country in the United States. And I feel privileged to live in a land where even our national product is gross. Abraham Lincoln used to walk 9 miles to the library. On his birthday, they close it. What the hell is that? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have a dream. It's a dirty one. I don't want to talk about it. This hooker was coming at me with a plunger. Weird dream, I'll tell you. Anyway, I'm going to leave this podium bit. These are not working all that great. With my philosophy of life, and it goes like this. Well, the wind blew and the crap flew, and you're only here for a day or two. Move this baby out of the way, get my guitar, get a good look at you up here. You got a lot of help here at the club, you know. Stage hands bustling all over. I'm glad to be here. You know, I work a lot of comedy rooms across the country and young comics who want to become stars. I thought you might be interested in some of the kids who woke up to me in the past. Where the hell's my guitar? Oh, here it is. Good. Hide it from me. That's great. Stay there. And some of the kids who woke up for me in the past, I think you're going to be interested. A fellow named Don Nobel, you know, Father Guido Sarducci opened up for me in San Jose years ago when I was doing Saturday Night Live. A fellow named Howie Mandel opened up for me in Toronto, a place called Yuck Yucks before he made it, and went on to do St. Elsewhere, very funny. Harry Anderson opened up for me in Hermosa Beach. He was an incredible comic magician. Went on to do Night Court, to the judge on Night Court. Emo Phillips and Judy Tenuta opened up in Chicago when they were starting out. They were a duo at that time. Jim Carrey from Living Color, he was 17, opened up for me in Ottawa. He's an incredible talent, Jim. He was on the bill with me. The last two that went on to become stars, Jenny Jones and Paula Poundstone, were my opening acts in Sacramento, and they now have their own television shows. All these kids open up for me, go on to become stars, and I'm really getting sick of it. Who the hell needs them anyway?